I'm not happy. I am not happy. As a fan of Lili, I am not happy with Danmachi episode 14. It opens with my girl not doing good. It ends with my girl not doing good. Could somebody give my girl a healing? But no, episode 14 of Danmachi season 5, pretty decent episode. I'm not really sure how you can follow up the last 2 episodes that were actually like amazing, but it was an okay episode. I think overall, my only frustration I really have with this episode is that I'm kind of wondering how much of this is skipped content, because there's a lot of insights into characters and where they used to be and how Freya kind of saved them. And this could be the point in which it's revealed that all these individuals were saved by her in some way and brought in. But now we're really getting into, with this episode, really establishing where they stand. Because yes, obviously Hedin's going around and nudging people and going, do you really care for her? Are you really looking out for her well-being? Are you thinking for yourself? I think is the better question mark there, and that he kind of has with Hogni, which I thought was really, really cool there. But yeah, let's get the episode proper. Let's hit, like, I guess each segment based on the characters themselves. Starting things out with Lili. Like I said, I'm not too happy with how that opens up and just leaves it there. But yeah, she's not doing good. Girl's like cripple. Girl literally can't move. She's just kind of just bundled up. Haruhime's sitting there giving her a lap pillow. And yeah, she's just kind of giving out commands, trying to get anybody possible to get there. Eventually, Hestia shows up, worn out after running for a long time. I love that scene so much, dude. She literally comes in there and she's like, I'm here to boost people up. Right, who ready to boost? And then Lily's over there like, the hell are you doing here? That's not part of the plan. Get the hell out of here. What are you doing here? I come to boost people. And then you have over on the side Myak and Naza. They're like all lovey-dovey. And Hestia's like, why can't you guys do that for me? Why am I never welcomed? Poor Hestia, dude. Like, it's the ongoing joke that nobody cares about Hestia. She's the goddess of the Familia, but nobody cares about her. But yeah, that's when Lili decides, okay, take Haruhime, go boost them up, do whatever you can there, get them distracted, boost up Belle, all that kind of stuff, level up and everything like that. But it was a cute little segment there. But yes, the meaty part of this episode is probably around Hedin. Hedin pretty much nudging everybody in a direction, and that sort of chain reaction happening from that. The first case, of course, is him talking to Hogni, which is where we established that apparently the two of them are from the same island. There was this island that's like in this never-ending battle, and then Freya came in and saved them, which I'm not sure if that's skipped content or if this is the point of revealing that, but either way, obviously shows why they care so much. And again, seems to be the case with everybody there, which does beg the question mark, and that was a question mark that I had was really around, why do they devote themselves so much to Freya? And it seems like this episode's really kind of drove into my mind, at least, that this is not just about what she is as a goddess that caused them to love her. It's more of a fact that she has brought them out of a dark place. Every single one of them were in a dark place. Ottarl was in a dark place. Anya and her brother were in a dark place. And yes, with Hedin and Hogni, they were in a dark place, and she saved them. I'd assume the same thing's going to be with Heath. But yeah, really cool stuff there, getting that idea that they were in this bad position, but really kind of getting into how, obviously, Hedin's a very brilliant dude. They've established that already. He's a great strategist. He's been actually plotting this whole stuff. He's been cooking, as we find out with this episode. He's been cooking for a long time, even cooking how he's going to take down Ottarl one day. He's been plotting this for a long time, and he's been thinking this through, unlike, of course, Hogni again, who's just strictly sticking on the idea of, I'm supposed to serve her, right? I'm supposed to serve her. But again, here it's digging into that idea that Hedin is trying to instill upon Hogni, if you want to help her, we have to help Belle. She has chosen Belle, and thus she will never be happy. Her wish will never be granted through divine love. She is stuck in a place, and we have to help her. She chose him. We have to stand by him. I love how later on, when Hogni even pushes back to Hedin, he even admits right there, yes, I'm just like you and everybody else. I wish she would choose me. I love that selflessness. I'm growing more and more loving Hedin's character, and I really wasn't sure at some point if I would ever. I assumed early on that he was cooking something. I think his whole thing with training Belle to help, do this whole date with Seer, I knew back there he was cooking something. But I never really thought that I would like his character as much as I do after this episode. He really did bump up quite a bit for me in this episode. And again, it's that aspect that I wanted this. I couldn't have it, and he got chose. So I'm going to figure out how this works, because otherwise she's always going to be miserable. She's always going to be miserable. Again, it does get that whole question mark of how does that work? It sort of makes me believe that, yes, there's an idea here that gods and humans cannot have love. And so the idea is to bring her down from goddesshood in order for her to be happy. She won't be happy. Which does lead me to the idea that, yes, I think how this could conclude, if we're going based on what Hedin's saying here, is that it needs to end with Freya becoming seer. She has to become the town girl. She has to give up her goddesshood, become a town girl, become seer, and then she could try to pursue Belle. She's probably not going to win. Because again, we've already established who's going to win this story way early on, but at least it gives her that ability to do that. Right now, in her goddesshood, she's just suffering. She'll never have this. She's already shunned everything, so you might as well put her at least in a position where she can at least pursue him. She can't right now. She's suffering. The more she tries to fill her role as a goddess of love, the harder it becomes to grant her wish. Again, based on what Hedin's saying here, she cannot pursue Belle or be happy or have the love that she wants in the position that she is. If you believe in her, we must free her from the shackles of goddesshood. And I honestly do like Hogni's response. He's like, I'm not really as smart as you. I like at some point he's trying to fight back against him and Hedin knocks him down. He's like, literally, you lost to that meager elf. How dare you try to see if you could beat me? But Hogni's like, yeah, I don't think things through as much as you do, but he's gonna basically trust him. That makes sense. I'm gonna trust you. I'm gonna do what you're saying. I'll follow what you're saying. It makes sense. I'll go do this. And that's when he goes off and saves Anya. I so think of it, man, Hogni gonna get some Doki Doki feeling with Anya. Like, it feels like everybody's kind of getting that ship position with Anya. You got Bait over here, you got Hogni helping her out. You even have like a little bit of possible bro-con stuff going on there as well. But yeah, that's when we cut over to Alan and Anya. And again, they're fighting it out. We get a little insight into their situation, which obviously Anya is trying to save Seer. That's why she's here. She went off, she's got to see Seer. Seer's not in a good position. She's now trying to seek out the real Seer, which is, of course, Freya. So she's trying really hard in order to save her. But at the same time, she also fully acknowledges finally that, yes, apparently, Alan is a massive siscon, and he's a tsundere. He's a tsundere. This guy literally acts like he's against her, constantly saying that he's going to kill Anya, but that's true. He's never killed her. Beta finally's like, dude, he's never hurt you. He's always just kind of pushed you away. Which, yes, we do get to see when she apparently first left the Freya Familia, or at least left their headquarters, which was at the request of Alan. Alan went to Freya and said, she will die here. And again, I think that a lot of that has to do with the fact that he just doesn't think that she's strong enough. That, yes, they're going through all this grueling training and she's not fit for it. And he's trying to protect her. So he's going to take it upon himself, essentially all of the training that she would. I'll shoulder every burden that she's going to leave behind. Get her out of here. She's not fit for this. And it does seem like that all has to do with his desire to protect his sister. Again, it's a total siscon. The guy is actually a closet siscon. He's just been protecting Anya the entire time. And yes, it does seem like, despite how everybody else seems to be there based on the idea of Freya saving them and them trying to do her bidding, it seems like Alan is different than everybody else. He is there not for love, he's there for power. Freya is going to bestow me power that I need in order to protect my sister. She's not safe, and it all has to do with his desire for revenge against this dragon. If I don't defeat this dragon, this black dragon that ravaged our home, she'll never be safe. He has that desire and that pact for power, which is interesting. And again, it kind of gives that at least a little bit here that he's not like everybody else that can be won over by the idea of, we gotta save Seer. I don't care about Seer. I care about the power that she's giving me, which makes it a lot more difficult for him to, I guess, accept that. And I guess the only way they're going to really get into Alan's head is to really drill it into his head that, yeah, I don't need you to protect me. It's probably going to come down to that. I'm just probably going to have to finally tell him, you don't have to protect me. And it might come through her just beating him. She might actually have the strength to beat him. But we'll see. But yes, the last scene we have, of course, is the fight against Ottarl. Mamma Mia going crazy still with her shovel. I still get a kick out of the shovel, dude. This Mia chick, she is just swinging around a shovel and holding back everybody. Ottarl with his massive sword, and she's just knocking it back with his shovel. But yes, they're not really doing very good. It does a quick drop of a name, which is Leon. Apparently, he used an ability that was given to him, or at least used by Leon, that he was not able to utilize as well as him. I don't know if they've ever mentioned Leon. I don't know if he was the hero, ? No, I don't think he was. But apparently there's a Leon, and apparently he used that ability. And that's where things get a little bit interesting, because we get the reveal that, yes, Hedin's been cooking this for a long time. And it does seem like Ottarl had a sense that he was going to betray him at some point. Like, he was already aware at some point that he was defecting. He's like, yes, I set this regimen to train Belle. We were pushing him to his limit, but the only person who would not join in the training was you. And yeah, I recall that moment where he did kind of question him. Hey, I need you to help. and he never went there. Every time they were out on that training field, who was the one person never present? Ottarl. Now, I assumed at the time it was because that's just not Ottarl's job. His job is always to be at Freya's side as a guard or something like that, because that's usually where he always is. But no, right here we get the reveal that no, he just didn't want to get involved. He didn't want to help him. And it seems like that's based on the fact that he knew that, or he anticipated this was going to happen, that at some point he was going to turn on him. But yeah, also getting into the fact that Hedin apparently has an entire team formation that he's set up beforehand, strategized this entire attack formation to take down Ottarl. He knew at some point I'm going to have to go against him, I'm going to have to face him, and this is the case. But I did find it was interesting that, yes, he devised this plan to take down Ottarl, and that's opposite to the easier method to getting this done, which is very interesting. Hedin seems to be going for the idea of total domination. He wants everybody to have their eyes opened. And he is also trying to get Ottarl to open his eyes. Because as he points out, yeah, technically, I could have gone straight to Freya. Makes sense. Once this whole battle started, he could have just gone up there and took her flower. And it would all have been over. That's not what he wants. He wants everybody to open their eyes. Because if he went straight to Freya, nothing would fix. They would go right back to they were before. Freya would probably charm everybody again. She would probably kidnap Belle again. All that stuff. No, what Hedin wants is to change everybody's mind. He wants to get Belle up there. He wants to get Belle up there to save Cyr. He wants to wake up Cyr, and he wants to wake up everybody else. That was very interesting. That was an interesting part of the whole thing. Because again, as it points out, he's been cooking this for a long time. I was preparing Belle to draw out Cyr, essentially. But yeah, there was one last little drop in here about Hedin's past, and the idea that, yes, not only was he from this island that Hogni was, that was caught in this long-going war, but also, Freya apparently liberated him from his duty of being king. So not only was he from that island, he also was the king there. And again, liberated, which means that she released me from something I didn't want to be a part of. I didn't want to be a part of that, which is interesting. And now it's his duty to free her from her altar of goddesshood. Again, hitting once again on the fact that he's trying to remove her from the position of being a goddess. Again, probably to be the town girl, to be Cyr. But that all gets into that whole issue there where he's trying to talk Ottarl into it and how she's suffering and she's crying and eventually leading to Ottarl pretty much questioning, are you going to go against her wishes? To which Hedin says, who can claim to be her champion if they put their safety first? I don't think it's going to work, though. That was like that whole long speech there with Ottarl as he's going full-on beast mode that it just... Ottarl's not having it. And again, I think there is an aspect there where he's almost pushing them to have to earn that right. That if you want to do this, if you want to go seek her, if you want to go save your Cyr, you have to go through me. And again, with him knowing full well that Hedin was going to do this, it's almost as if he's trying to make them prove it. Prove that you're worth it. I think there might be an aspect that if Ottarl gives up, and this might be in Ottarl's head, if I give up and I allow you guys to get this easy, then Freya won't accept it. If I get beat, that proves that Freya has no cards. But if I give up, she'll believe next time I'll make sure Ottarl actually fights. That could be where they're going with that, but we'll see. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the episode. Hopefully the next episode opens up. First minute, Lili gets a healing, please. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, hit the like button down below. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe before you leave. If you like this content, you want to support channel more, I have links in the description below. Greatly appreciate it. But until next time, you'll take care. For the final episode next week,